a peaceful people, struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. This land is all I know. We're gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow, but never break. Our fathers came here, and they lived and died here, and we ain't moving nowhere, make no mistake. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass.
We love the open county of the Rupununi and the Essequibo, daytime or night. Though we may criticize it, this is our home, we love it, and we need to keep it. We have that right.
We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we.
This is Quincy Anderson. You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Hey, hey, Guyana is nice, Guyana is fun, Guyana is clean, Guyana is green, Guyana got oil, Guyana got gold, Guyana got young and Guyana got old. I ain't talking no more. Guyana got things, we growing wings and developing things. The government real and that's a big deal. I'm singing from my heart, Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil to one Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I.
Neighbor Joe, neighbor Joe, neighbor Joe. Oh, morning, neighbor, morning, morning, neighbor, morning, morning, neighbor, morning. I don't want your conniving morning, morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning, morning, neighbor, morning. You can keep your conniving morning. When you been a corrupong, you now been tell me morning. No, because your money done, you come with conniving morning. When you had your pocket full, you now been tell me morning. No, because your money done, you hustle for tell me morning. Morning, neighbor, morning, morning, neighbor, morning, morning, neighbor, morning. I don't want your conniving morning. Neighbor, neighbor, Joe, come. Neighbor, neighbor, Joe, come. Neighbor, neighbor, Joe, come. This is all the money that me work for. A 2 pound a note and a gilla piece. A 2 pound a note and a gilla piece. A 2 pound a note and a gilla piece. This is all the money that me work for. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. I don't want your conniving morning. Oh, Joseph, pour me. Oh, Joseph, pour me. Oh, Joseph, pour me. What we could do with a gilda piece? 1 bunch green plantain, 1 string quacquari, 1 Jill black pepper. All you could do with a gilda piece. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. I don't want your conniving morning. When you been a corrupong, you now been tell me morning. Now because your money done, you come with conniving morning. When you had your pocket full, you now been tell me morning. Now because your money done, you hustle for tell me morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. I don't want your conniving morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. You can keep your conniving morning. Neighbor Joe, neighbor Joe, neighbor Joe. Oh, morning, neighbor, morning, morning, neighbor, morning, morning, neighbor, morning. I don't want your conniving morning, morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. You can keep your conniving morning. When you been a corrupong, you now been tell me morning. No, because your money done, you come with conniving morning. When you had your pocket full, you now been tell me morning. No, because your money done, you hustle for tell me morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. I don't want your conniving morning. Neighbor, neighbor, Joe, come. Neighbor, neighbor, Joe, come. Neighbor, neighbor, Joe, come. This is all the money that me work for. A 2 pound a note and a gilda piece. A 2 pound a note and a gilda piece. A 2 pound a note and a gilda piece. This is all the money that me work for. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. I don't want your conniving morning. Oh, Joseph, pour me. Oh, Joseph, pour me. Oh, Joseph, pour me. What we could do with a gilda piece? 1 bunch green plantain, 1 string quacquari, 1 jill black pepper. All you could do with a killer piece. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. I don't want your conniving morning. When you been a kuropong, and I've been tell me morning. Now because your money done, you come with conniving morning. When you had your pocket full, you know been tell me morning. Now because your money done, you hustle for tell me morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. I don't want your conniving morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. You can keep your conniving morning.
This is Quincy Anderson. You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome down to LiveWire. It is the 20th of September, 2024, and we're working our way down to the final months in 2024, heading into 2025. Morning to all the persons tuning in on the live. Morning to the persons across the diaspora. Morning to the persons across the 10 administrative regions, and a special good morning to the persons in the comment section. I hope you all had a very restful night, and you're ready and raring to go this Friday morning. I hope you guys had a productive week as well, and you take this weekend to rest, recuperate, regenerate, and get ready to go again in the new week, right? As you guys would know, yesterday, the General Secretary for the People's Progressive Party had his press conference and had some gems coming out of there, man. Sometimes you have to control yourself when you're at these events, because when you hear certain things, it may cause you to LOL, laugh out loud. You understand? So guess what jumped out at me? That's what jumped out at me yesterday. Bozo. Look, I was cracking up. I can't lie to y'all. I was cracking up. I couldn't help myself. I could not help myself yesterday. But I mean, it's such an apt description of the individual. You understand? And I do think that this gentleman here may believe that indeed he is auditioning to lead a circus based on the actions of the APNU AFC members of parliament. But no, sir, not here, not in Guyana, not in Guyana. Right? All right, good. So we're ready there. Right. So, Bozo, trouble. Also making the news, Kianji Mortif and Light people. Who was this? Can't even like going out with Anog. This man just the other day sitting on Freddie Kissoon's show and talk about diversifying his business model so he caters to the expats and the oil and gas workers. And I think it's how much? $2,300 or $2,800 per meal. You may not be getting a beverage with that. You gotta pay this bill, Kian. What nonsense is this, man? Anyway, it just goes to show you that some of these folks who perpetuate themselves to be so righteous and upstanding and I want transparency and the state must get what the state has to get and oh the state and all that nonsense, they themselves doing a set of stupidness. And oftentimes I tell you guys here, a lot of the things that you find opposition members of parliament, opposition parties, and I'm gonna leave it at those two. A lot of the things that you find them trying to label the current administration with are most likely things that they were complicit in, are complicit in right now, and they're just trying to push it over on the government. Carla, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We have to imagine being as the boss lady from now, right? And Kian Jabbar is a white beater, and Elisa calling people to tea all the time. Later.
Take care. My goodness. Yeah. Trouble. Look, let me some money to these people. Auntie's trouble. Ready Latchwood, morning to you. Salumi, Rahima Morali, Sarah Mosley, Balwan Dan Raj, Ramnarain Singh, Joe Satar, Rajendra Singh, good morning to you. Alan Khan, Narain Singh, Wazim Nabi, Mohammed Isaf, Ricky Nath, Siram Sukram, Umar Sharif, Reni Prasad, Prem Prashad, Dinan Suku, Lola Hari, morning to everyone. Ion Bipat joining us from Barbados. Morning to you, brother. Ormela Gosai, good morning. Richard Stanislas. Special good morning to Jane from St. Martin. Also, special good morning to Eunice and Rita. Joining us from Canada. Kamish Jaikaran, morning to you. Jag. Sorry, people. Sorry. I see the phone flashing like it had ain't good. Yeah, Kambish Jaikaran was the last one. Rajendra Mahis, morning to you. Norman Aziz, Jean Cornelius, Jamila Kayu, morning to you. Jasoda Budram, good morning to you. Pam, morning to you. And Trevor, Derek Drupal, Imran Ali, morning to you. Sunil Raghubir, Suknandan Bud, morning to you. Leslie Mongol, Aliyah Mohammed, Rakesh, Sumut Bipat, Krishna Dheera, Philip Diabru, morning to you. Gil Ian, Nirmala Allen joining us from Barbados. Joan Abidjan joining us from Canada. Ashadali, morning to you. Maureen Razio, good morning to you. Nadia, Richard Stanislas, Mazo Inshan, Sherwin Siram, good morning to you. Ronald Shivdial, good morning to you. Ella, Bagmati, and Hector, good morning, everybody. Back to cricket. Back to cricket. So yeah, Kian Jabur tiffing up the light and that kind of thing. I am hoping that GPL keeps the same energy. I'm hoping that this entity was disconnected from the grid until all the how you say not as accumulated, all the where's all the estimated power that they would have borne over whatever time you all estimate that this business place, this location, and the lights were being, that they were stealing electricity. They don't have any power until they clear their bill. You understand me? You can't encourage these kinds of things. The regular Guyanese citizen, if they get caught stealing light, they're under pressure. They're under pressure. So good for the goose, good for the gander. Kian, Joker, Anyway, guys, so as I was saying earlier, the General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party had his press conference yesterday, and that's unbelievable. Right with you? Why it's unbelievable? Kian deciding that we want to keep a lot of the profit from those expensive lunches that he's selling. So for him to do that, he got to joke the book somehow. So if he's paying for electricity, more money in his pocket. I saw him riding a fancy motorcycle the other day on Sheriff Street. Go and sell that and pay a GPL. You understand? Pay a GPL, brother. Anyway, so like I was saying, the General Secretary had his press conference yesterday. And he want to touch on multiple topics. So we'll go through and have a brief summary of what was discussed yesterday. Now, the General Secretary spoke about the PPP and its active engagement of young people across the country through youth camps and conferences, with over 6,000 young participants taking part. The party's youth movement is gaining a significant traction, with numbers larger than many other political parties combined. Now, the General Secretary emphasized that the youth arm of the PPP is crucial for the party's future, ensuring that young people have an opportunity for leadership roles and personal growth. He then went on to talk about the PPP's strides, the PPP itself and its strides it's made in becoming a multi-ethnic party, which is reflected in the youth movement, contrasting it to other parties that cannot replicate such diversity. Dr. Jandio highlighted that the PPP is the only party that has consistently brought together people from different ethnic backgrounds, while the opposition party relies on old, unchanging leadership. Right? He went on to discuss the fact that the PPP offers young people opportunities for leadership, both within the party and at the national level, highlighting how he himself, the General Secretary, rose to prominence through the youth arm of the People's Progressive Party. Carla, good morning.
Good morning. Morning, brother. How are you today?
Morning. How I cool, you know. I spoke to Minister Rodriguez about the water situation, and she's going to look into it and give me some feedback in the new week. So just in case you ask me, I'll check on it for you, right?
Yeah, man, thanks. Thanks for that. Because yesterday we had I know the black protected coming on more often now, man, and it's taking long to come on.
Well, so yesterday I was in Georgetown for most of the day, and indeed, a few places I went to had blackout. Based on what I heard yesterday at the press conference, one, the government is not too happy with how GPL is handling this power situation. Two, there are some not unforeseen circumstances. There are some circumstances in relation to power distribution that are causing problems. There are issues in relation to the changing out of poles and sections of the grid that you need to come off, like turn the power off to do. Whilst that is not a sufficient reason for the amount of blackouts, some explanation was offered in relation to what is being experienced now. So and I must add as well, I saw that the Prime Minister and Minister Indar had a meeting with GPL yesterday about this situation as well. So I'm hoping that will encourage them to pull up this axe.
Okay, brother. Okay. What's going on in Guyana, brother? What's going on in Guyana? Like certain portions is untouchable in Guyana.
In relation to
untouchable, even related to smell mother and and AP and U and EFC people, like they untouchable. Now if the police get in information
and they call this, look how many hours the police is called storage.
Yeah.
And they don't find nothing.
Yeah.
What's the big about people can the police shouldn't search nobody else in Guyana?
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. The police got to do their job.
Who is smell more that all these big fancy lawyers representing the information? What the court could tell the police? The court could tell the police they got no right searches. Smell one out. You can information look after Venezuela. Venezuela gets a report that because the Americans and some other people want to kill Maduro, they search. They want to search and they set a fine weapon or whatsoever. Who smell more? Smell more is a drug addict. It is a deal with drugs.
Allegedly, we don't know. I don't have any proof. You don't have any proof. So just let me say allegedly.
I know the person.
Okay. So from your point of view, okay.
You might know that I use the road, man. I can tell you.
Right.
So, just deal with it. And no drugs, man. Don't have drugs in the house.
Right. Right. In the stash. Yeah.
Go and take out and sell and put back.
Yeah.
But because of the house, the place which you live in is a ghetto place.
Yeah, but you know, sir, just let me cut you a second. What you said there just now in relation to the character of the individual, I will admit that I would have heard that from several other places as well. That, you know, this allegation that is being made, there is some truth to it, you know, based on other persons' experience with Melly Mel's mother and, you know, them people there. But go ahead.
Yeah, my brother, I perform. Who is this big thing that lie when giving the police commission 48 hours as they can take? Let the take legal action. The court can't tell the police how to do the work. The same.
Right.
You see, though it has all the lawyers, it's AT and AFC lawyers, all. This is the people that these people is dealing with. The opposition come out to represent her. Imagine now, the opposition come out to represent your mother, a crook like the lady. What is that? He fighting for to become president of this country and indulging himself with stupidness and all the intelligent that he got, like the youth. He pays for $4 them up. She got a bundle of liars, right? That's the news that they representing her. They represented one because they got the same London Linden eat after a lot of shit.
Yeah, I heard this video.
But they get information since then. Why they got killed? Well, then the CIA, the Americans shouldn't sanction Mr. Mohammed.
Because they move right away.
No.
Yeah, I heard nights in London was going on terrible.
We know they will win election, but because for me, for one, with what come out there with like the use of the money, I am not voting for him. If I say that intention, I am not, because he's a crook. He's a crook, my brother. This is the people who are running, country. But the vice president is too legal. I didn't give him News no nothing more. I didn't give him. Secondly, what about Pine Black, my brother? Pine Black, he's come over?
Yeah, man. Every Wednesday and I think Sunday and Wednesday.
I don't get it from me phone at all. I don't get it.
You'd probably go to his Facebook page and follow him. So when it comes on, you'll get a notification.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, Black for hearing, man. It's two persons listen to. You and Pine Black.
Thanks for the support.
Y'all talkative, see things active. I speak about this. You know, cover up and cover up. I don't try to this spread. Because the person felt it so now. It will open up can of worms, and then everything starts coming out. And then he's got And this one is a thief warrant.
Yeah, Jabur.
You know about them.
Bye.
You know, these people who run this country and do a lot of nothing is a pack of hypocrites, buddy. All of them.
Yeah.
It's a pack of hypocrites. I want to discuss something. The GPL, the government has said that they're giving a reduction for your like bill or something like that. I don't know about it.
Yeah, that's when the power plant come on stream.
For the old age pension portion. Now, there's a lot of people understand what's going on. They just give a flash shoot about it. They just call the youth, just call this announced and then on TV concerning this iCode, this glasses project. Just call this there, bringing up to get what it. Why they don't do that with the same like building for the old age pension? Because people is archiving here in brother. It's hard. I don't know if you could use good apples and ask them if you can like put it in a program like NCN.
So based on the knowledge that I have, I cannot remember right now. It may be, I'm not saying that you are wrong, but I cannot remember right now a promise that was made to lower the light bill of the pensioners. They took the taxes off of the water and I think electricity for pensioners. However, I know that the government is talking about a holistic slashing of the electricity cost by half once the gas to shore project comes on stream. I know about that.
I know about that. But yeah, so I told you just so it's true. It come over the news. But it's just a flashing for everybody on food. Some people say when they got the GPS can make up forget the transport. Then people said. Some people say, well, the portion come out that they teach the money.
You were the guy that called me about paying something at GPL to get something done?
No, not me.
Oh.
I'm just telling you, it's a lot of different things hearing about.
Right.
So I say, well, we're going to make it a program for the NCN that people could understand what is it you got to do.
So GPL has their public relations unit, which usually does the programs on NCN. Probably what persons could do is suggest to them things that you'd like to know about so that, you know, they could make the public aware of the processes, the costing for these things, and, you know, the people aren't exploited. So I'll probably suggest that to persons at the PR unit here. Hello?
We could call in. But when you call the number, nobody don't answer the number. Nobody don't answer the phone. Nobody don't answer the phone.
Oh, GPL.
You know?
Yeah.
Nobody answer the phone, brother.
Yeah, well.
I don't want to keep back long. This is just a shot because you got more people want to call. I want to keep back. Nobody says.
No problem.
Only you have, man.
All right, good. Thanks for calling.
Yeah.
You know, I must say as well, the government could make all the effort they want. If it is a case where, I mean, the agency just not, and then I don't want to paint GPL with a broad brush to say that GPL just not doing its job. I mean, if I look at it from this point, because I hear the argument often that, oh, they said they can bring the power ship and the blackouts going to stop. And you understand? So look at it from this point of view. Let's say I am the prime minister. I am the minister in charge of looking at power generation in this country, or GPL falls under my purview, right? I am not the person checking the grid to see how much power is needed, distribution line good and them thing. I am the minister, or I am the person in charge going off of information from technical people, right? So the technical people at GPL said, this is the amount of kilowatts we need to stop this blackout, right? GPL, the government, and whoever else sit down and they come up with ideas how to provide this power that GPL said is necessary to stop the blackout. They find a solution, the power ship is here. You understand? Now it's a case where GPL is saying in some cases that even more power is required. I mean, how you gonna blame the government? The government went based off of the information that was given to them, that this is what is needed, and they put systems in place to provide what is needed. Now that the situation has evolved, we have to adapt. You understand? So people, I understand that, and I guess it's not fair for me to talk about blackouts because where I live, we hardly get blackouts. Honestly, in the past 3 months, we probably had blackout twice, and it was in the past week and a half. Those two episodes happened, and the one was long, the other one wasn't for like more than 15 minutes. So sometimes we need to take into consideration all the dynamics that are at play in terms of government addressing issues and these kinds of things, especially with GPL. Take into consideration agency and those kinds of things. So the government is trying its best to ease the blackout situation. GPL is trying its best to fulfill its mandate as the power provider in Guyana here. And we as Guyanese support we think. I understand we are upset about the blackout situation, causing me to not be as productive as we want to be. However, currently we are on this developmental path, and pretty soon all these things will become, you know, memories in the back of our mind. So pretty soon, another year or 2 or 3, persons start saying, when last we get blackout by, things like that we're moving towards. And the government is putting systems in place so that we got good power, we got good water, we got good roads, we got good schools, we got good health care, we got good whatever else the government is supposed to provide, right? And again, it's not just Georgetown they're looking at. They got to look at every single region, every single community, every single village, and the impact needs to hit every single home, every single Guyanese. So let me give and take a little bit. You understand? We are entitled to be upset about things, but we must also be able to assess the situation in a broad-based manner, take into consideration some of the anomalies that are at play, and look at situations objectively for the long-term betterment of Guyanese as a whole, right? Back to the General Secretary's press conference yesterday. What was I talking about before the guy called? So the General Secretary was talking about the fact that the PPP offers the young people in the party and young people in general opportunities for leadership, both within the party and at the national level. And he spoke about how he himself, the General Secretary, rose to prominence through the youth arm of the party. Now, many current leaders, including ministers, central committee members, came from the party's youth arm. And the PPP actively promotes young leadership, with 25% of the new central committee comprising of young leaders, according to what the General Secretary shared yesterday. Now, he also went on to underscore that the PPP is planning for the future by nurturing young talent, while other parties like the AFC and the PNC rely on older field leadership. Now, Dr. Jagjo went on to criticize the opposition for being dominated by much older figures, such as David Patterson, Nigel Hughes, and Raphael Trotman, who have failed to deliver in the past. He urged that young people are not given, he argued, that young people are not given real opportunities in the opposition parties and are sidelined from important decision-making roles. He also went on to talk about the opposition parties' attempts to rebrand themselves as a new as new are not credible because they are led by the same old figures. Now, Dr. Jagdio pointed out that the PNC and the AFC's leadership remains stuck in ineffective methods, and that they have broken every promise they made to the electorate. The General Secretary described the opposition as a corrupt cabal that gives no opportunity to young people and is led by a cabinet with an average age nearing 60 during their time in government. He went on to talk about the digital transformation and modernization in Guyana. Now, Dr. Jagdio briefly mentioned the importance of digitization in Guyana's future, hinting at ongoing projects that will modernize various sectors, including airport services, border management, and the issuance of secure biometric ID cards. Now, the government is actively working on multiple digitization projects, automating government services. Now, the Ministry of Home Affairs is undergoing an automation and database, and for databases such as births, deaths, and criminal records are being integrated for more efficient governance. And in terms of this project, Safe Guyana project, implementation of high-resolution smart cameras with facial recognition for security and crime prevention, right? If you notice, for persons who are frequent the Stabrook area, if you notice, they put up screens there now, which monitor the park. So persons are less inclined to engage in crime because they know that they're being monitored there. And the same thing will be implemented at the border market area there as well, right? Now, the digital patient record system. Now, this is a system that integrates medical records for better healthcare administration across public and private hospitals. So, I mean, let's say you up right now, and you're able to go to private, you do a procedure, and a couple of months later down the line, you're not as up as you used to be. And you go to public. It's not a case where these files aren't available for the doctor at the public hospital to peruse to better give you health care. It's an integrated system where all the information is there, it's available, and somebody said the video is glitchy on YouTube. I know, I gotta check it. Don't worry, we're going through an upgrade process. We getting some new equipment and that kind of thing. Y'all just bear with me for another month or so. Right? But yeah, we're working on that, right? And then also the biometrics ID system, a national identification system with strong privacy protections. And this will be facilitating access to various services and have systems in place that will prevent data abuse. Now, the General Secretary went on to talk about or emphasize the economic and social policies of the current administration. Now, Dr. Jagdio emphasized that the PPP's focus on improving lives of ordinary Guyanese, that's their focus, including job creation, access to scholarships, and increased property values in Afro-Guyanese communities due to infrastructural development. Now, the government is introducing blockchain technology as well to deal with land records and mining records as well, to prevent corruption and tampering and ensure transparency and resource allocation, right? Now, yesterday, the General Secretary reminded persons of, y'all remember when Christopher Jones made the video in his fancy Kia talking about the boulevard and the fact that the government is planning to sell out those people's homes there in All Boys Town, and the Rumvelt is not Rumvelt, it's Le Penitence. Rumvelt and the Le Penitence area there. That's the only reason they were doing the boulevard. I sometimes I wish persons would hold opposition, not just opposition members, but just hold people accountable for the things that they say. So Chris was able to make a video and mislead people about the government's intention. Now, when it is proven that that's not the case, he just gone off into the sunset. No repercussions whatsoever. Nobody holding Chris's feet to the fire to say, why you like us? The people didn't want to sell the place. Look, we live in here still. Look, all we streets done. Look, our boulevard that you said wasn't for us, we have access to it. And in some cases, not taking care of it. Jesus. Sometimes when you pass on the boulevard, you want to know what is going on. What is going on? I mean, Guyana, we have a littering culture. I am not going to pretend that I don't litter. Well, I'm not a habitual litterer. But, you know, my truth is happening. But I think we need to find some way to break this cycle. I mean, I try my best to keep things on me until I find a bin. And I'm saying I'm not 100% perfect with it. But, I mean, some people just don't care. Like you'd be coming over the Harbor Bridge, the Demerara, the Harbor Bridge. You're coming over there, and the vehicle in front of you, a man shy a big black bag outside into the river. Right? So let me say 100 cars doing that every day for a year. You know how much garbage is that in the river? And then when the rain falls and the place flood out because the water got no place to go, a bunch of non-biodegradable stuff in the waterways, everybody up and down, vexed, rowing. The government ain't doing this, the drain ain't clean. But who messing up the drain? Who messing up the drain? If that drain had silt and sand only in it, it still had space for the water to pass. But all the plastic bottles and plastic bags and styrofoam box and I don't know, was it with people and like bagging dead animals and throwing it into the trench? I don't understand it. What I don't know, but who started it? But this is like a Guyanese thing. Yeah, animal. Not everybody doing it. Not everybody does it. But I've seen it on many occasions, you know. And these kind of things unsanitary, man. Anyway. So I'm gonna leave the rest of the press conference here to deal with. I wanted to focus on the responses that I got from the General Secretary in relation to the questions that I would have asked. And as you guys would know, Afro-Guyanese are ridiculed, called all sorts of things. And in some cases, some of them mightn't even want to make their support for some parties public due to the attacks that are levied on them by opposition members of parliament, opposition activists, activists in the diaspora sympathetic to the opposition, and it's ridiculous. So I asked the General Secretary to share his views on this, and he highlighted that the PNCR believes that they own Afro-Guyanese, expecting loyalty based solely on race, regardless of how the opposition AP and UAFC treats them. Now, Dr. Jagdio argued that the PPPC works for all Guyanese, providing opportunities for young people, regardless of race, to succeed in education, jobs, and housing. He noted that the PNCR has historically neglected Afro-Guyanese communities, failing to deliver essential services like housing, roads, and jobs. And I mean, I talk about this all the time. Linden, no housing, no roads, no jobs, taking away jobs in Berbice, right? Almost no community roads. There's so few, you got to call them none. Now, Dr. Jaggi emphasized that emphasized the contrast in how the PPPC government is addressing the needs of Afro-Guyanese communities, such as investing in housing in Linden and infrastructure in Georgetown, right? So people in Linden were not able to become landowners under the APNUAFC. They were distributing house lots. That's now. The extension of the Amelia's Ward Fitzhope there that was recently done, those persons were there since then, but they didn't have the energy or the time to go into those areas and work with those people. They left it to Minister Kroll and Minister Rodriguez, and they came and they did it in I would say record time. Because if you couldn't regularize the housing scheme in the 5 years that you were there, they regularized the housing scheme, what is called it, do alignment to the roads and all them things in there, distribute house lot, distribute title, so that persons could get on with their lives with certainty and not uncertainty. And that is what you get under APNUAFC, a bundle of uncertainty, because you don't know what they have to offer you in terms of your future and making something of yourself, or them creating an environment for you to flourish. You understand me? So with the APNU, Guyanese are like mustard seeds scattered on the road. You got nothing to germinate. You really got to try. You really got to. And then you got a couple of them mustard seeds that can bust through the cracks, get a little good soil, and germinate. Couple of them, very few. And then they got the couple that close to the APNUAFC that get a little water, although they're on the asphalt and they're on the rocks, that they can catch themselves a little bit. But the majority of the rest of us mustard seeds drying up on the concrete because of stupid leadership. No ideas, no vision, no thoughts for Guyana. Right? You heard yesterday how the General Secretary was talking about them wanting a party to come together to make a plan. Indeed, what he said is factual. Y'all see the LCDS, it's there for you. You see the extended version. You see the government's manifesto that is working to implement something that you guys didn't do whilst in office. Implement what you promised to the people. So indeed, what are you bringing to the table? What are you bringing to the table? You want people to show you their ideas so you could piggyback off of it and make flyers. Say, well, we can do this, and we can do this, and we can do that. Come on, man. Come on, get yourself together. Get yourself together. Now, I asked the General Secretary to give his thoughts on this German Figueira situation in relation to him being removed as the leader of the PNCR in Linden. Now, Dr. Jaju suggests that German Figueira's removal from the PNCR's leadership in Linden, maybe because he does not align with the old thinking of that party, the PNCR. The General Secretary criticized the PNCR's exclusion of young people from leadership roles and emphasized that the party prefers fossils from the 70s and the 80s over new leadership. He noted that Figueira's stance, including not taking part, well, I did. I shared that with him, his stance that he didn't take part in the, well, Arby Norton's boycott of shaking the president's hand, and he wrote a piece on the Brooklyn boycott of the food places. I can't remember the name of the places, man, but he wrote something on that, and he also wrote a piece on the call for the boycott of Marlon Jacobs' band. So I think, well, I figured, to me, that this most likely would be the reason Aubrey Norton would sideline him, because he's not following or towing the party line or that Aubrey Norton have established. But the General Secretary said, you know, that may be one of the underlying issues there. Now, he went on to talk about the inconsistency in the policy stance of the PNCR. Now, Jack Joe criticized the PNCR for now promoting pay increases for temporary workers and direct cash transfers. And these are policies that they previously condemned, right? So again, he's waiting to see what is it exactly is going to be in their manifesto for 2025, and how many of the plans and policies of the People's Progressive Party Civic Administration they might want to hijack for themselves, right? He also called out the PNCR for opposing essential infrastructure and energy projects, like the gas to shore energy projects and the Milo Falls Hydro project, while failing to offer viable alternatives for power generation, right? Now, the thing with that is, can anybody at any time say that the opposition, when they oppose, and apparently I think because of the name opposition, they feel that that is their primary goal. No, we don't want this, right? But when they oppose these things, indeed, they offer no alternative. So the power ship is bad. What was the solution outside of the power ship? All you hear about backroom deals and friends and family, it's not a stupidness. The gas to shore bad. What is the alternative to the gas to shore? The Burrabees Bridge coming up on its 20-year time period there. What is your suggestion in relation to persons in Region 5 and Region 6 and just Guyanese traveling in the area in general, having continued safe access to cross the river there? What's your solution? What is your solution? They offer you nothing, right? If, in my view, Nigel Hughes and the pit lottery and stuff, they not, if Nigel is so up in arms with these pit latrines, they should have had no pit latrines in hinterland villages at schools come end of 2020. The mere fact that they had them there at the end of 2020 shows that, one, you either didn't go in the area during the time. Two, you went in the area but you didn't care because you're in government and you don't want to make yourself look bad, right? Or three, I don't even know what to call three. It's Nigel Hughes. He's just a weird guy. He's just a weird guy. So your people ain't fix it, but you lamenting about it in the next administration, knowing fully well that there was back in April plans and were approved for the construction of a sanitary block and thing. The government has been continuously upgrading these schools in the hinterland, bringing them on stream with schools on the coastline. Internet, learning, channel access, all kind of thing. But nothing ever seems to be enough. Nothing ever seems to be enough. Nothing ever seems to be enough for these people. Anyway, guys, so I think that's it for me this morning. I see Nigel Hughes was talking about some vendors somewhere and all the poor vendors and this. The funny thing is, these guys have a position now, but if you check the history, they take completely different positions, or they adopt positions, certain positions when it suits them. So he wants the votes of the vendors from the PNC, right? Some can all them is the PNC voters. He wants their votes. He wants to make it look like he's interested. Nigel Hughes often goes to court and represent these big companies against small vendors. You understand? When some of these vendors got to be removed from the pavement and these kind of things, lawyers like Nigel Hughes going to represent the big companies. So don't pretend like you so interested in these vendors and the mayor so interested in the vendors. If the mayor was interested in the vendors, Nigel Hughes, the mayor would have submitted the report from Ghana where he went to look at the markets so that we would know how to build our markets like Ghana, so that we ain't got street vending and everybody organized and everything good and the market house clean and everything. But we can't hear nothing from the mayor yet. We can't hear nothing from the mayor yet in relation to that. So I don't know. I don't know, Nigel. You tried it. I'll say have a good weekend. Please don't go into the hinterland and make yourself a fool. Please. Please. Sometimes it's very annoying. Really. When people see you in there. Well, not the people, to me. You next thing you know, you're gonna hear anyway. You annoy me. When I see you in there, pretending to care about the indigenous people of this country. When you got up and said nothing, when the APNU minister said indigenous people greedy because it's either land or oil money, you can't get both. We didn't hear you say anything when APNU activists were on social media talking about why the government doing anything in indigenous areas. They don't do nothing for the country. Right? We didn't hear anything from you. We didn't hear anything from you when the APNU administration fire all the CSOs from those indigenous villages. We didn't hear anything. Guys, y'all have a great weekend. I'll see you here Monday, same time, same place. Please be careful on the roadways if you're going out to party and have fun this weekend. I know there's a lot of activities happening around the country. Cricket Carnival, what's these guys here? Pride Bacchus at Black Manga. They got some local artists. They're having their album launch. Where did I put the flyer? It's so far back. No man, can't be so far back. Right, so support local. Like I said, they're gonna be at Black Mango. I don't know where. I don't know where this is. Okay, wait. I know the flyer there. I ain't seeing it. I'm not seeing it. I'm sorry. It may be here. No, it's not. So anyway, yeah. Y'all be safe out there. Just be good, Guyanese. I'll see you guys here Monday. Take your time on the roadways. Truck drivers, y'all stop being retarded. What y'all doing on the Heroes Highway? Stop that nonsense, man. Anyway, as I usually say before I go, it's all about peace. It's all about love. It's all about one Guyana.
Guyana is nice, Guyana is fun, Guyana is clean, Guyana is green, Guyana got oil, Guyana got gold, Guyana got young and Guyana got old. I ain't talking no more.